Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our first major discussion topic video after seeing the premiere for The Walking Dead Season 7. In this one, we're going to start with talking about, spoiler warning, is Daryl responsible for what happened? And again, spoiler warning, if you haven't seen the episode yet, this video contains spoilers. So responsible for what? That's why I called it, responsible for what happened, but what happened? In particular, the reason why I named it that was to avoid people from spoilers. Is he responsible for the death of Glenn? Of course, with it being our second death in the episode, with the comic book series version only having one death. Now, my friend Quinn asked me this question for a video, and I thought it was great, so I wanted to use it. And the thing is, okay, so let's recap what happens. So you have Negan. He kills Abraham, brutal fashion, makes fun of it, has fun with it, recites what Abraham's last words were. Then he proceeds to show it to Rosita and tell her to look at it. And you've got Daryl, who's festering at that part and can't control himself to the point where, he's used to defending the group, used to defending everybody. And he gets up and he punches Negan in the face. Now, the question becomes, and I've seen this a few times in comments as well, too, did that cause Negan to then kill the second person, to then kill Glenn? And at first, my response was no, he was going to kill both of them either way. But on watching the clip again and paying close attention to it again, I'm going to swap on this one. I actually think that it is true. Yeah, I think it is. Because what happens is, so let's go over what Negan says. He says, I already told you people, I said, the first one's free. Then what did I say? I said, I will shut that shit down, no exceptions. Right. And I don't know what kind of assholes you guys have been dealing with, but I'm a man of my word. Right? So, and if you read the Walking Dead comic book series version, you know that Negan is huge on these rules. When he sets a rule for something, he adheres to it, especially in front of his guys, like it's law. The rules are law. We've even heard it in the trailer. There are rules, right? So I'm actually swapping on this one. The first one's free. So the first emotional outburst was okay. He's like, okay, I get it. It's an emotional moment. That's it. But I will shut that shit down, no exceptions. So I think that the second one, and what he means by this when he's saying this, is that now it's not free. Now there's a price, and Daryl did land a pretty good one on him. He landed a right hook, right haymaker on him. This is pretty good. And then, of course, he walks over right after saying that. He proceeds to smoke Glenn. So, like I said, in this one, at first I was like, no, I think he was going to kill Glenn anyway. It's hard to tell what he would or would not have done, but it's pretty clear to me that Negan is setting up a new dominance hierarchy. He wants everyone to see him as the boss, no exceptions. His rules to be followed, no exceptions. And it seems like to me when Daryl did that, he realized that he was going to need to punish these people more because he does not lead out of love. He leads out of fear. He goes the other way. So he basically, it seems like to me, punished Glenn because of that first one's free, second one, now you got to pay type deal, and punished them by killing Glenn as a result of what Daryl did. Now, might he have killed him anyway? You can get into that, and you guys definitely can write your comments below. And please do, because I want to hear what you guys think about this one. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. You'd probably have to ask JDM. And then there's the writing team also as well, too. So it's like, really, did they write it out to plan for two deaths? Well, yeah. But they work it in with that Daryl's punch is the catalyst, I think, to make Negan decide to kill Glenn right afterwards. So, and people might say, well, why didn't he just kill Daryl if that's the case? Well, they're taking Daryl. So Daryl's not going to get off scot-free that easily. You don't kill that, not until you try it first. So we'll see what they've got in store for Daryl. Maybe they're going to try to break him in. But I actually think that Negan kind of respects Daryl. It's kind of like he's got these rules set. But, and Abraham as well, too, with his last words, suck my nuts, really funny. I almost think like he he's got his rules, so he has to enforce his rules, but he also kind of respects it when people do crazy things like that. And he's probably thinking to himself, man, what kind of people are we dealing with here? These people are going to be hard to break in, right? Usually people flip a lot more easily than this. These people seem to be pretty, and then he takes Rick for the drive and everything. I'm sure that's extra. For most groups that he assimilates, probably not that hard. It's probably not that difficult. So yeah, my short answer is, I think he is kind of responsible for it, at least with the punch, because it's a punishment for what he did. That's the price. In other words, the price must be paid. Just like the poster that they've shown this summer with Rick on it, the price must be paid, that kind of deal. Plus, they did kill a lot of Negan's men. So usually they do one person right away anyway. But for them, so you can make the argument that they might have gone ahead with 2 anyway. But and you could also make the argument that Negan was angry at Glenn because of his first emotional outburst and making Negan kind of feel bad about what he had to do, or about what he was doing in the season 6 finale when he has the emotional outburst and Negan says the first time that one's free. So those are my thoughts on it. Short answer, I think he is. You guys can write your comments below. Is he responsible for it or not? Just write it below. That's all we got to know, and it'll be fun to talk about. The next question for today's Q&A, or this one was a comment, really. It came from FaZe Harambe, and he said, what is Glenn's favorite restaurant? And then he said, Popeyes. It's too soon, FaZe. It's too soon, man. Way too soon. That's brutal, man. That's the first time I've heard that. That's brutal. Dupa man, I don't know. This is pretty messed up, to be honest. People might be pissed at you now, FaZe. Dupa man says everyone at the dinner table is wearing nice clothes, and Daryl is still wearing his normal dirty zombie apocalypse outfit. It's funny, I wanted to throw that in there to comment. But could you picture Daryl wearing anything else but that? Can you picture Daryl wearing like a sweater vest or something? I just can't. I can't picture that. And even too, it fits in also, I think, because when they get to Alexandria, Carol's like asking him, like, aren't you gonna shower, and he's like, and do like the normal stuff, and he tells her that she looks ridiculous. So so I see that as like who Daryl is now. He can't take it off. That's who he is. Dark Mako says, the leaked script was legit. How the hell did this happen? So spoiled. Oh my gosh. It's kind of unfortunate this year that it was. I'm glad that I didn't go through it. Anybody who did, you can write your comments below. How was the experience for you, knowing that you read the script once you figured out while watching the episode that you did know the right script and you did see the things? Was it still enjoyable? Did you still love it? You guys can write your comments below. I was glad this year that I held off with spoilers and I didn't get too deep in the spoiler weeds, and I knew things that I saw in comments, but it wasn't so bad. Like, I didn't know about the Carl, arm or hand part. I didn't know about a lot of the different stuff that was happening, so I enjoyed the hell out of it quite a bit. And the Maggie stuff made it controversial too, and made it like, oh, what's going to happen, and really exciting too. So it's fine. Fear Boners says, his name's Fear Boners. This is terrible. JDM's acting was so good. OMG. I think so too. There's a few people that complained. Just a couple, not too many, but there was a few people that complained that they thought his leaning was weird or something like that. I thought he did a really, really great job because, he's intimidating. He's intense, and then he's also got the comedy at certain parts. He's got the jokes at certain parts, which is really funny, and he mixes it all in really well together to just all in all, play a pretty damn good version of Negan. And also, I thought to myself too, because I have the jacket replica, and it's really tight on me. I was thinking, if they gave him like a bigger jacket, it could work a lot better. I think his jacket is too tight. So, and maybe some of his other attire as well too. I think maybe if he had like a bulkier leather jacket, it might look a little bit better. But his acting was incredible, I would say. I mean, I thought he did an awesome job. And man, it's like, we do lose two characters that are really awesome characters from, close to the beginning of the series that have been, at least with Abraham, been there for at least a few years now. But we're also getting, all of the saviors coming into the show. We're getting Negan as a huge character. Dwight's going to be a bigger character now, too. And so, I guess it makes sense in a lot of ways. You might kill off a couple because you're adding on so many. And Ezekiel coming, too. So there's all these characters coming in. So yeah, it makes sense that you kill off a couple as you're adding. They're adding even more than they're killing off. Let's put it that way. So even though people could be sad because some of their favorites are killed off for sure. My body is Reggie says Negan or the governor. Comment below who's the best villain. I think that's pretty obvious after this intro. I think Negan's already better than the governor was in the TV series. I mean, this was a pretty incredible episode. And the governor's awesome. Don't get me wrong. David Morrissey does a great job. But Negan is just, oh man. In terms of the comics, if I compare comic Negan to comic governor, comic Negan all the way. He's like 1,000 times better, I want to say. And more fun to read and more interesting and everything. He's just an amazing character. So, I got to go with Negan already as a villain. Regardless of how people feel about it. If they hate him like crazy, they might hate him more than the governor at this point already. I got to go with Negan myself. Lucas Bedford says, are you even surprised, Trev? The goddamn spoilers were dead on, and I effing hate it. Great job, AMC. So Lucas was pissed because the spoilers that got out did ruin it. Brother, I got to tell you, it did affect it. It was still like, oh, holy shit, so that was right. Because I didn't know if that was going to be right or if everyone's saying it was going to be Maggie because of the leaked thing. Might have, a lot of people were really convinced that they were writing comments. So I didn't know for sure who it was and which spoilers were right because there were spoilers saying this and there were spoilers saying that. But once I saw the hit with Abraham, I kind of knew the hit with Glenn was coming. But it still kind of surprised me because he walks over, he's got the bat, and then back to it, and he just turns and wham, really quickly. So it was still like, holy shit. You guys saw my first reaction. I don't have to explain it, right? Because you guys were there with me. You saw it. So, and that was some people question me. They're like, is that really your first? It looks like a second. No, that's my first viewing reaction. I don't bullshit you guys. I don't play games like that shit. I posted it. I mean, right before I filmed it, I had posted a video, half an hour before. Yes, it's my first reaction. So anyway, I don't know. Some people being dumb, but yeah, man, I mean, it was still effing awesome. I know that the spoilers took away from it a little bit, I think, for me, just knowing that it was Abraham and then Glenn, but also, too, the spoilers were also wrong because, at least from what I heard, because I had heard that Negan was going to cut Glenn in the stomach or something like that, and it wasn't going to be another Lucille bash, but it ended up being that way. So for me, it was still surprising because of the way they did it and because of how brutal it was, the reactions to it, and everything, and I had not read the script. So for me, I did still like it a lot, and it was still awesome. Last one will be from KJ Soccer Kid 6. Trev, why in the hell does Maggie's loved ones keep getting killed by villains? Herschel was killed by the governor. Beth was killed by Dawn. Glenn has now been killed by Negan. Don't you guys agree? So Trev can see. I think I'll probably do a character spotlight video on Maggie this week or next week. Quinn brought this up to me too, and he was the first person to say this to me, is that she is probably the character that has suffered the most in the entire series. And I would have to say that. I mean, Rick and the others, they've suffered a lot too, but at this point, she's lost everybody. I mean, she's got others she cares about there as well too, but she's lost everybody closest to her. Her dad, her sister, and now her husband. So she's had a really tough time. So I'm going to think about it a bit, and I might do a character spotlight this week. But yeah, Maggie's had a really tough time. On Suicide Watch, I would say she's on Suicide Watch now after seeing this episode and seeing her Lauren Cohen's performance at the end, which was amazing. And also when she's in denial and she wants to fight them and stuff, and Rick's like, Maggie, they have an army, we can't. That was just crushing. So man, I'm still buzzing from the episode. I'm still in shock and everything. I mean, I could just sit here all day and talk about it with you guys, but I'll wrap it up for today, and we'll get back to it again probably, for sure tomorrow. If not, maybe another one later today. So if you guys missed any of the videos this weekend, check them out. Check out the reaction if you haven't seen it yet. Check out the review. Check out the predictions for episode 2. Check out the things you might have missed. There's some stuff in there I guarantee not everybody has gotten or seen or gotten. And the outrage from fans against Negan. So lots of stuff in the channel. Check it out, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please thumb it up below. Oh, man, it's going to be a great season. If you're new, subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. I'll see you soon. You can share, you can favorite, you can subscribe. Hell, you're all going to be doing that.